Hello.
Oh, okay. The link okay already. So,
Hello. You
mm,
can hear. Okay, then I pause.
you can pause already.
I accidentally put enter. Oh my.
Two. Integrate how much?
你要收给力哦。
哎呀，
你根本就在楼上，但是他们没人洗。完了。
So easy copy. If we wait after half an hour, don't have people, then you have to off it. Hello? 今天 Hello? Hello? 今天
所以可以用 post link 啊。
Oh, you cannot post a link, is it? Hello? Hello, 今天 Hello, 今天 Do you want me to share the link, 今天
Hello.
Hello, 今天
Hey,
你
can you listen à?
Yeah, can.
Hello. My
So
line
I post
suddenly got
already the
problem.
link.
Hey, can you pause the link?
Yeah, I post
You
already.
pause already?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we're waiting people, is it?
I don't know. Should be lah.
You just finished your exam today.
Today. Hey, actually we shouldn't talk here. Because it will link to YouTube.
Huh? So serious?
Yes. Serious. We talk. No talk here.
Okay. Hello. So people, we will having our crisis management education sections later. So before we start, right? So I will briefly introduce ourselves. So me will be I am Jason Cha I'm one of the VP ICS from LCUM.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Chen Yan, VP IGCP. Yeah, VP IGCP in LCUPN. Yeah, Jason.
So now let's start with the slide with how actually we this is educate about the crisis management. Let me share you the slide. In process.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Can you all see the slide?
Yes.
Okay, so let us start. So today we're going to educate about the crisis management. I believe that in our IZ journey, especially for ICX, we are facing a lot of the crisis management also. So it's very important that for especially ICX people who know how to handle the crisis management. So the first slide will be, we are talking about how actually this dictionary describe about crisis. The actually crisis come from the Greek word which is crisis, which means that decisions. Which, when we talking about crisis management, right? Everything actually have to refer about the decision you have to make towards the challenge you face. So we're moving on to the next slide, which is there are the situation and situation, decision and decisions. As you can see about the two picture, right? One picture actually they are related to the regular situations, and the another one actually is not related to the regular situation, which means that it's a fact situations when you are when you're making the when you face the crisis management, you have to identify that whether the crisis you face, you heard, you listen, it actually is a real situations or is a fact. So we're moving on to the next slide. How we differentiate the two kind of the crisis. They actually have two kind of a crisis. When you face crisis, means that you have to identify there are which type of the crisis. One is predictable and another one will be unpredictable, which means that there are something crisis you are unexpected. So we're moving on. The unexpected crisis actually will be brutal, is coming sudden and surprising and unexpected. There are no warning before they are coming. So it actually requires the action plan to mitigate the impact. So moving on to next. The predictable crisis. So how we say the crisis is predictable? So there are the characteristics which is insidious, latent, but you can detectable and predictable the crisis, which means that you can actually can perceive this crisis is going to happen when we are taking these actions. So most of the situation can be recovered. If the crisis is predictable, which means that you can coming out the action plan to prevent it or even can to solve it. So let us focus on the predictable crisis. But how we actually can do it? Should we preying on the crisis? It could be the options, but I can tell you it is not sufficient enough. Should we just saying that yes, we can, this is an options, but it may not working on tries. But at the last, actually we know that there are one thing we shouldn't do it is ignoring the crisis, because if you keep ignoring the crisis, which means that at the end you're going to face the most, and the crisis will become more and more serious. So ignoring the crisis is not an option. So we should coming out the action plan to actually to solve the crisis immediately instead of ignoring them. So how actually we can do this? So I will pass the action plan to Qingyan. Qingyan will be presenting on this. Qingyan, can you start? Hello, Qingyan. Hello, Qingyan. Hello, Qingyan. Hello, Qingyan. Hello, Qingyan. Oh, maybe Qingyan is facing the Wi-Fi problems, so maybe we should pay patient to wait for it. Yeah, Qingyan. Hi, people. Sorry to say that Qingyan have facing some the Wi-Fi problems, so I will be continue to do it. So let me continue to share the slide. As you can see, just now what we when we face crisis management, when we face crisis, how we actually can coming out the action plan and what is the action plan actually we can conduct. So first, we have to be prepared and have a plan. We have to coming out the step 1 plan, and then step 2, and then step 3. This is the plan we have to coming out when these are the actions we have to coming out when we face the crisis. So second, get the fact. Like just now what I say is when you heard about some crisis, actually you have to identify whether the crisis is the fact or the fact one is non-regular or regularly. So after you get the fact, actually you have to be fast and designable to be spot people, which means that you have to get all the information from the people, and then you have to spread all the information to your people also with your team. And third, break your own bad news, which means that define the crisis in your own terms on your own tough. Like when you face a crisis, right? You don't moving to the negative mindset, which means that you have to be always be positive and break your own bad news. If there are something, the crisis is something bad about you, describe about you, so maybe you can try something good to change back it with your own terms. And fourth will be no comment about it. If the crisis you face is actually some people who try to spoil your image, spoil your reputations. So what the action I will recognize you to do is don't comment on it. And last will be communicate with your all audience. So the one of the action plan is you have to communicate with the audience you involved in this crisis, so that they do understand what are your situation currently. And you have to keep the media flat and then provide the regular updates. When you face crisis and your member is worried about this, because you are in these situations, so you have to keep providing the updates to them. Okay, how's the crisis currently move on, and then how you solve it, so that they are somehow to assist them, to tell them, to give them a chance to know when they can step in to help you to solve this crisis together. And the 7 will be don't afraid to challenge the media, and then when get it wrong or unfair. When you face a crisis, right, especially from the media side, so don't afraid to challenge it, to correct it back to the situation, to explain more the real situation you face. Like just now what I say is when you face a crisis, the most action you cannot be doing is ignore the crisis. So you have to be always be brave to challenge it. And the 8 will be taking the real action steps, cooperate with the authorities. So when you face crisis, you coming out all the plan and the step and the action step you actually can be provided, and then you have to cooperate with the authorities also. Those stakeholder can assist you, can cooperate with you one. And 9, you have to bring in the third party validator. And the last step will be open a proactive possibility even as you deal with the crisis. So that when you open this proactive positive thread, right, you know that when after you analyze, then you will know what is the next step you should moving on in order the direction is correct, and then the crisis can be solved. As you can see the picture, the crisis is behind you now. So have fun during the crisis and challenge yourself to solve it. since